welcome back to Sjcartier Ltd Convos. Today, with the last questions with my partners ended with what an entrepreneur needs to do or what makes an entrepreneur, I thought I'd say, and the video previously that was about 5 things why I started doing them and why I continue to do them. I thought this time I'd go to things as an entrepreneur that I'd done in the last year that I wasn't doing in the first 2-3 years and why I actually done them, and just to give you a little understanding of what an entrepreneur may have to do to try and improve his business. So first of all, I'd start off with why I actually decided to only sell via my website last year and not sell on eBay, close my eBay shop, and why I actually stopped streaming and whatnot for that period of time. So first of all, the main reason why I closed my eBay shop and only sold via my website is because I wanted to actually test my website and see the um, actual improvement for the year standing alone. So, yes, I had eBay. Yes, I was selling on whatnot. But I believe those were like ways for me to kind of encourage other buyers that may not have seen me to come and buy my products. When in fact, I wanted to see buyers find my products and find my website and then be able to trust my website just because it's my website and I'm Sjcartier Ltd. So I wanted to actually get more stronger and confident in what I've built and actually prove to myself that, you know what, I actually can make it work. So even to a little example, with the funds that I was using to pay for an eBay shop and buy eBay packaging, etc., etc., I actually use those funds to promote my website via Google and via my social networks instead, which was more promoting my actual, the roots, which is my website. Also, because I actually, in each web's product that I listed via my website to eBay, I added a percentage on for the fees that eBay was taking. I presume those wasn't really being marketed in the best way on eBay because they may actually be on the market price a little cheaper than the market price, or even already a little bit above the market price. And with that 10%, that now would take the things that were under market price to market price, which would make it harder to sell. It would make my products that were averaging at the right market price look higher than market price, and anything that was higher look even more higher. So with some entrepreneurs being smart, they would list items that I already have at an undergrounded price. So due to the way I already set up my business and how much it costs me for packaging and the service, I'd like to say I'd pay any person for faster service a little bit more. So the service, even to the quality, I believe when I order from some other sellers, I believe it made it kind of an uneven battlefield for myself. So on my website now, the 50% that are on market that would have been on market on eBay are now 50% under market. The products that were, let's say, 50% under market, over market on eBay, now come down to a regular market price. So you see, I was trying to think more about the platform I built and why I built it, because I did build it for it to be a standalone. Also, when I started selling on Whatnot, that was because a lot of my items that were auctioning, yes, I were happy they go to collector, some of the items, but as I still had love for some of my items as a collector and a reseller, I felt some of my items going for £1, which, as I said to you in one of the previous videos, would be 50p, 60p, before I think about my packaging costs, the time I wasted to stand on their listing, as well as the time it took me to actually list my items on my website if they were already on my website. So when I accumulated all of that, I presumed it wasn't worth the time at the time, because because I had my website, and I felt like I was looked at more as a collector, so I just behaved like a collector and started buying as a collector would. Number two, um, I decided not to put myself into difficult situations if the value wasn't worth enough. So I'll give you an example, and this will be something I may elaborate on a bit further in future videos. I actually stopped going to like certain comic book shops because I realized when I was going to certain comic book shops, certain of my comics wasn't being handled correctly by the store member. And in one occasion, it actually turned into an altercation over a 10p bag on a free comic book day. So the fact that I actually travelled out of my way to go and support a random comic book shop and kind of put myself in a public eye around the normal collectors and businesses to kind of get like a friendly approach to these people. Because as you see, I'm not a typical looking comic book seller. I'm not a typical antique seller. I'm not a typical DVD looking seller. But I actually want to sell these things, and these are things that interest me that I like to resell. So because I don't have that actual initial look, I actually try to put myself into a lot of places where people would actually get to know who Sam was, as well as Sjcartier Ltd. So whether that was to go to comic book shops, whether that was traveling the country at car boots, knowing that there's going to be resellers there, trying to put my face there, going to more auctions and trying to make them see I am the person who was buying from your auction. Just try to get to know the communities better. But in the last year, I slowed that down because I realised certain times I was putting myself into positions where people may have a vindictive way of approaching you, and I wasn't never had the mindset at the time to counteract it, even though I wasn't being, what's the word, too unnecessary, but I was being combative against what the energies I were feeling. So due to that, I believed it wasn't actually looking good for me because I don't want to argue with anyone. I just wanted to kind of get to know people. So due to that, I just stopped putting myself in certain positions where I may come across people that maybe feel a little bit jealous about my business and want to try and impact my business, or even impact my outlook as a person to the other collectors or buyers that they want to resource. So yeah, I stopped putting myself into these certain predicaments. It's not to say I will never go back to these things. It's just more to say when I approach these places now, I'm a lot more wary. I'm a lot more keep myself to myself than more of approaching everybody. The third thing I done was ignore and block a lot of social warriors, let's say. So we could call them internet warriors, we could call them social warriors. They are people that are on the social networks, whether via their 100,000th profile or not. They would be on there trying to recruit you or use your services to their advantage. So I'll give you an example. I find it quite funny. Yes, I am a reseller. Yes, I am a small collector. But I do find it funny that some people who are resellers would try and message me or call me even and make out that their items they have is items I should have. So yes, I like people to come and say I've got this for resale and would you like to buy it? But when you're talking to me at above retail prices where I know the price you are giving me there is no profit margin and you're just trying to sell. Also the fact that you're approaching me saying to me that I saw your website, I saw your YouTube channel, and I feel like I could help you promote this or promote that. One thing I've always said with my business, I want organic shoppers and organic followers. Another reason why I said I took myself away from eBay and whatnot, because I didn't want me to oversell to you. I wanted the products to speak for themselves. I wanted my service to speak for itself, not just the price and not just the fact that I'm trying to oversell it to you. So I kind of I started blocking and just removing these people that kind of approach me with an aim to make a lot of money from me than to actually encourage me and make me make profit. To say, oh, I can come back to you and say, have you got another load of comics? Have you got another load of plates? Have you got another load of football cards? So if I can't actually see a profit in it and I'm not going to make profit from it at that time with that price, I didn't see very a smart move, especially as I don't know this person. So the fact that you are overselling to me makes me feel there was something wrong. As I would say to some people, yes, you need to oversell your product, but being very forceful with your product, there must be a reason why you're forceful. And I'll leave it at that point with regards why I block and ignore a lot of social people that want to say, can I get you more followers? I can promote you on Google ads or Facebook ads or whatever they are requesting me to pay them £100 a week or month or whatever to gain. Number four, what I changed last year was I actually added best offers to my website. And the reason I added best offers to my website is because I know I have close to 4,000 products, and yes, some products go down, some products actually go up. So I actually give an opportunity for customers who want to buy one product that they think they may have gone down in value, or even could pay me more if they wanted to pay me more and send an offer of a value that they think that is actually worth. Um, but it's also a way for buyers or collectors to actually message me directly via the product that they are looking and start up a conversation. I also realised, as I am a reseller, and a lot of resellers do realise I don't sell on eBay, some resellers would like to buy from my website to then go and resell on eBay. So it also leaves an opportunity for some people to send reasonable offers of a numerous amount of items that they would want, for me to actually look at them offers and then decide on whether that makes a value worthwhile. So if somebody, for example, wanted 20 of my football cards, they could send an offer for the 20 cards they wanted to come to the price they wanted to pay for the entire items, or they could send an item for offer for one and send me a message with all the other cards they would like to buy and see if we could come to an offer. This also, the reason I've done this year as well was, as I said, I'm not now putting myself too much into people's public eye in their place of work to become a friend or a colleague. So as I'm not doing that anymore, I couldn't stop the opportunity for people to message me. So I realise social networks, a lot of people are wary, as I say, I am myself via people on the social networks, but via my website, I believe it's a trusted platform. It's been live for now over 3 years, and via my reviews, you can see any legitimate person that has bought from me has been legitimately happy. So I believe any relationship between there, they would feel comfortable to have a conversation with me. And number five, I actually changed my shipping from tracked and signed on every item, whether it was under £10, whether it was a pound item they bought, or whether it was, because previously last year, every item in the UK was free shipping, and I would charge, I would charge the same price regardless of what they were buying. Now, only items they purchase over £10 qualifies for free shipping. And the reason for that was because I realised some times I would have sales that, although at the beginning of my business I remembered, I was taught also not every time on a customer you need to make a profit, although it is nice to make a profit on every item. So sometimes, although I know my shipping price, that because I was trying to do it everything signed and shipped for tracked, although I knew certain my packaging costs and I have to pay for this, some of my items, when they were sold, wouldn't actually cover just the shipping cost. Um, at that point, I was hoping the reason I had it like that was for people to see that maybe I am not charging the price of the shipping cost for their free shipping. And due to that, that may make them want to buy more than one item and understand the pricing strategy of what I have set up. As a lot of people weren't understanding of this, I decided to make it that any item under £10, then I charge for shipping, because then obviously I can make a profit on every item, or more than likely a high percentage on my items I can make a profit after shipping. And any item, any buyer that spends over £10, whether they buy 10 items for £1 or one item for £50 or 7 items for 20 and 5 and 1, that order will be shipped to within the UK for free. And that means my price, what I have set, you can kind of calculate when I've took my shipping and packaging away, I actually don't make a lot, even on some of those items that are just over £10, because small parcels could come to £4.49, £5, depending on what tracking I use. Also, which a lot of customers weren't aware of unless you bought from me, certain times if you spend over a certain amount of money, I would send just automatically either special delivery or track 24. And that was just like a thank you for you actually spending amount that, if you haven't spent with me before, I can understand is a risky amount possibly. So I give an option and a way for you now to actually get free shipping and test on any item, and actually try and make a bit more profit than I was trying to make when I was just trying to show my service. So yeah, these are 5 things I've changed in the last year as an entrepreneur, I say, within myself. So yes, I decided first of all not to sell on my website, to kind of give my entrepreneur skills of my website I build actual trust, and actually show customers that I trust what I have actually built, my little small own private online marketplace. Number 2, I decided not to put myself into difficult situations that are more controlled by other groups of people, where people maybe misunderstand that because 5 people are saying the one thing and one person saying one thing, it doesn't mean that the 5 people saying the one thing are actually correct, because they could have a judgment that is making whatever that one person is saying correct. And I didn't, as a black man, as I say, I didn't want to put myself in those positions where I may be told I'm an angry black man with mad angry issues, or just very, what's the word, very combative. And if we are all hopefully people that are a bit more open to what I am talking about, you will understand where I am going with that. So I won't really have to explain more. If you're disagreement, then that may be something you have to look at within yourself possibly. Number 3, I ignored and blocked certain social influencers that were trying to sell me, whether legitimate or fake followers, whether they were trying to do the job I already do, which is use Google ads and Facebook ads and set up my own ads and sort out my SEO myself. So yeah, they were actually trying to charge me for something I was doing myself, which I felt was, as a small business, we can't afford, as I said, know where you spend your money. So we can't afford to over promote something if we know the returns won't always be the same. Yes, you have to take a risk. Yes, you have to put your money in. Yes, you have to promote. But also you can learn how to use these Google ads. You can learn how to use Facebook ads yourself and do that for free and actually learn this. So that's what I actually done in my time. So to be sent messages like that, I just block them or ignore them. Number 4, best offers, and adding best offers to my website. That is also because then, as I said, I took myself away from people, so I needed to give people a more easier way to send me offers and have a conversation with me as a small business. And number 5, my tracked shipping and only free shipping over £10. This was to allow customers, me to make profit even on an item, me to be able to pay for my shipping on an item myself for £1 and not lose before I've even, just by shipping my item, and then I have to consider how much I paid for my item. So yeah, it was just to allow me a chance to actually make a little bit more on the items under £10, and actually offer the people that spend more than £10 a free service, just for thank you for spending a little bit more. So yes, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this one. I feel like it has been a little bit longer, but I hope these have showed you how I have kind of been an entrepreneur in the last 5 years compared to my previous video, where I'd say that was things I'd done and started from the very beginning and continue to do now. So thank you, enjoy your day, and thank you for joining Sjcartier